Hello my friends, welcome to another video where we explore how to create a consistent font with the theme medieval fantasy. Last week we covered the letter A, where we drew the A and animated an arrow. If you missed it, have a look in the cards or in the description of this video. In this video, I'm going to show you the letter B and how to animate a bomb. Let's get into it! Just like for the A, I needed to redraw the B digitally so that it was really crisp and clear lines without any smudges. I followed the same colors, brush sizes, and brushes that I use for the A, and I do that consistently throughout the entire alphabet. And here's how it turned out. Now let's get a little bit more in detail about how to animate a bomb. Because I already had the drawing finished, I had to separate the different elements, so the bee, the bomb, and the fire in the background, separate them into different layers so that I can animate them separately. Here I recreated the shadow of the bomb because I changed from Adobe Fresco to Clip Studio Paint. They had different brushes, and also for convenience I used one that already did the hatching for me. All bombs start with a fuse, so that's what I animated first. I already had a fire in place. However, I removed it, I deleted it, and started from scratch. So it starts as a dot and then kind of grows into this little flame. The flame continuously goes lower, following the path of the fuse. So that's what you see me doing here. And to add more to the effect, so you can really feel this is burning, you can see the little sparks that are generated by this little flame. And to build more intensity, I also wanted the bomb to shake a little bit. To make this animation, on each frame you move the bomb just slightly into a different direction. Another trick that you can use as well to create that build up tension instead of like shaking it also be to make the bomb shrink and then expand, a bit like a beating heart. Don't go too crazy and not too far, so that the movement really feels fast but subtle. I also recommend that any shadows or any details that essentially have to match the bomb, they need to be adjusted as well. And once the fuse reaches the bomb, I wanted to add a little pause where it's quiet and there's no movement. This is a little bit like when you have white space in a drawing. It helps focus the attention into what's about to happen. To symbolize this big explosion, there were a few things that I did. One was the bomb needed to have an anticipation, meaning I had to shrink it so that when it increased in the explosion, that it would have a bigger impact. And as the bomb then explodes, of course it explodes into small little parts. So what I did was I increased the bomb in size just with the transformation tool, and then simply divided it into different chunks, a bit jagged, to kind of have that perception as if it's broken. I went a bit further even by adding some more line details to showcase that the parts were broken, and to animate it I just continuously moved them further out, rotated them slightly but very subtly, so that you get the perception of it flying away. Along with that, I felt like the bee needed to move along with it because it was being manipulated by the bomb's behavior. So I kind of deformed this bee into such a shape that would follow the shrinking of the bomb. The bee had to then also move along with it, so it shrank with the bomb and then it became very deformed as the bomb exploded inside of it or within it. You can see this very warped bee. And lastly, all bombs have a bit of a fire, an explosive bit, like a spark. And in my original drawing, there is this triangular shapes that were representing the fire. Since this entire alphabet exercise is about consistency and creating a consistent theme, I wanted to make sure to keep that as true as possible to my original drawing. So I created these kind of triangles that move out of the beast like an explosion, right? So they come from the center and then they go outwards. I needed to create a bit of like a finishing to them because you want them to stop at a certain point. They are not continuous. They look now like a bit like arrows, but it still, I think, captures the theme quite well. And remember that when you want something to go fast, you want to add more space between your frames. For the purpose then of the animation to loop in itself, I wanted to then add a little bomb dropping. As the bomb is dropping, you can see that I'm doing the stretch and squash animation principle. You can see there are nice little bounce at the end of the bomb arriving, and also enhanced a little bit with the sound effect too, so you can get really that feel. And voila, now here we have the animation. Enjoy it! I hope that you feel a bit more encouraged to create your own bomb animation, and the next video will be about the letter C. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas on how I should animate this, and make sure to subscribe and like this video if it was helpful in any way. See you in the next video. Bye!